And welcome to episode 60 of Two Idiots Reading Comics. Go ahead and make sure, like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Two Idiots RC on Instagram and Twitter. Two Idiots Reading Comics on YouTube. Two Idiots Reading Comics on Facebook. Help us out any way you can. We'll be real quick about it today, so let's get into the show. And welcome to the best damn book club on the internet. This is Two Idiots Reading Comics. My name is Ryan Talmadge. That's Davis Crocker. And today we are reading
Department of
Truth. Whew.
Yeah.
It's been a long recording day.
Damn, man.
Yes. How did I forget that? This is honestly my favorite book going right now.
Okay.
If you like conspiracy theories, crazy internet theories, anything like that,
Yeah.
this is the book
wacky,
for you.
Wacky fucking shit, man.
But I'll be honest, I forgot. I've had all these in singles, so I just reread 1 through 5 because that was what was in this volume, right?
Yeah. I think
Okay.
it's 5.
So I didn't actually bring it with me. So if you could do the credits with this one,
Yes, sir. You got a writer, James Tinian IV, artist, Martin Simmons, letterer, Aditya Bidikar,
oh yeah, that one's really hard. I had to do that by myself back when I did that really shitty show.
Adyabidikar, designer Dylan Todd, editor Steve Fox. I'm gonna go with Fox, but it's Foxe.
Yeah,
Fox.
for sure.
Fox.
It's that Louisiana Fox.
Louisiana would have been FAU.
Well,
right?
I'm just stupid. So,
I think. I don't know. French Cajun.
Yeah.
Cajun French, however it's supposed to be.
Okay, so amazing premise to this.
Yeah.
Obviously love this book.
This is fun.
You go. I'll let you do your little first take and all that.
So, again, sitting there trying to... When you told me about it, it's a conspiracy theory book, I thought, okay, we're going to sit here and it's going to be a story about proving a certain conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
But instead, it's a group trying to keep the real history
Yes.
while conspiracy theories are becoming so popular that people are believing in them so much that they can rewrite history.
Yes. Basically,
And things that they believe start to manifest themselves in the real
Yes.
world created by a tulpa.
Yeah. Basically, yeah. You said that word earlier. I don't know what that is, but
It's literally in the book, and he literally describes it.
does he? Okay. I mean, let's be honest. There's a lot of shit you gotta.
There is so much stuff you got to keep up with. In 5 issues, this was packed.
Basically, in this reality is shaped by popular belief. So if too many people start to believe one conspiracy theory, it becomes real, and the Department of Truth is what keeps everything straight.
It keeps it... All right, so the way I understood it was there is a real history, and that the Department of Truth is trying to keep that real history, but also at the same time, Black Hat is telling Cole, when he's trying to recruit Cole at the end of this volume,
You can't trust
is
the
that,
Department
well,
of
you
Truth.
can't trust it because they didn't form until after World War II,
Yeah.
when the idea of America is the world,
Yeah.
democracy is the world to take over imperialism and monarchies, is that Department of Truth is now also trying to keep that alive. So who's right?
Yeah.
And they also said that they found the true world history book in Germany or something after the war. That's the book that they're going off of.
Yeah.
But the Black Hat at the same time is telling Cole the Department of Truth's also trying to keep everybody's idea of America is the center
The number
and a
one,
world power. So how much are they influencing
Exactly.
America,
You can't really-
past human history? So
Can't
again,
really
it's
trust anything. But
again, you're also saying that one untrustworthy person is talking about another untrustworthy person
yeah.
is more untrustworthy than they are.
Yeah.
There is so much
Exactly.
overlap, and
There's a
but it
real
was
fun.
This was fun and got a little creepy.
Yeah.
It got really creepy.
Yeah.
The drawing did not help with the creepiness.
Which one?
the drawing, the
the actual
pentagram,
art.
like the
Yeah.
actual art, like
Yes, the art fits perfectly with the story.
Yeah.
I didn't know how you were going to react to that because I know you're picky about art.
But
it
the
fits
way
really well.
the way it was with this, it fits
Yeah.
because like as Cole's telling about his time at the Flat Earth Conference was when he first talks about it, everybody kind of has a distinct feature.
Yeah.
Like you can tell, all right, they're all like he says, they weren't all white men. They were mostly white men. They weren't all male men. They were mostly all male men.
Yeah.
And you can see they have a feature, but as things like in his own mind start to warp, the drawing starts to warp.
Yeah.
Like the two billionaires.
Yeah.
Like at first you see them as prim and proper, then all of a sudden they turn to deep, like shark teeth, bloody, stinky, and with as he describes it, the artwork changes into a fuzzy, nasty version. That's pretty cool. I enjoy that.
Yeah. There's a lot of fun stuff. Like you said, in issue 1, they do the Flat Earth. Issue 2, they do. I don't know if it's specifically issue 2, but they do very early on. They do the Satanic Panic of the 80s.
Yeah. Which is what Cole got wrapped into or started with.
And then towards the end, they do a little mass shooting denying and stuff like that.
And then issue 5 is the Democratic presidency.
Oh yes, about
how
them going through that whole thing is wild.
About how President Barack was born in Kenya.
Yeah.
That the Kenyan government told the CIA to wipe his file, give him a Hawaii birth certificate.
Yeah.
And that so many people believe that the Hawaiian birth certificate is real, but now that so many people believe that he wasn't truly from Hawaii, which would discredit his presidency, he is from Kenya. So they're having to balance.
Yeah.
Because if they prove that he was from Kenya, then he no longer becomes the president.
Yeah.
And then that rewrites 8 years of history.
Yeah. And
so
then
it's
you also have the Clintons wrapped up in there and all
with
that
Epstein.
stuff. Yeah.
The Clinton Epstein conspiracy.
Yeah.
It's wild. It got creepy. Like
Because
you can definitely sit there
because we're from the South and we've heard people say this shit.
Oh yeah, we hear
plenty
it.
of times.
Yeah, I mean the
And it's
past
like, dude, shut the fuck up.
the past 16 years of the American presidency situation has been nothing but conspiracy this, conspiracy that.
Yeah.
It just it's everything's wrapped up in some sort of conspiracy that.
And the internet has a lot of dumb shit.
Oh yeah, I mean, Cole said it perfectly. You get somebody, and I've heard it somewhere else. If you get somebody that starts to even question what they've heard, and you give them a modicum of information that can change their mind, they're gonna grab it. Then there becomes a rabbit hole. Then that rabbit hole branches into 3 rabbit holes. That 3 branches into 6, 9, 12. It just, and so once you hit that first rabbit hole, which is why. So I understand that the way I understood is they picked Cole because he wouldn't jump down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
He would stop at the door and question it at the door and go, okay, but I know it's not true. It's funny, or it's a like I could see it.
Yeah.
But he never jumps in through the door.
Exactly.
So he stays at the door where your conspiracy deniers and the guys he got on the plane with have created a world where enough people have gone through the door.
Thinking
down
about,
the rabbit hole that it now
that flat Earth
has become
actually started to manifest.
Yeah, that there's now an ice wall at the edge of the world,
and that's where the Department of Truth shows up and just murders everyone.
Murders all of them. But yet, they also tell him that is true. Yeah. That's where the Tulpa lives.
Yeah.
And that because everyone has believed so much that the Tulpa feeds on the manifestation, that if enough people believe it creates it true.
Yeah.
That now the Tulpa has actually come to Earth, where it was just on the outskirts of time, sorta. It seemed like.
Maybe you can recheck this because you keep saying Tulpa, and I was like, I don't remember anything about a Tulpa.
Part of Tulpa.
Like I said, I read the first issue, and it was just like, hey, if enough people start to believe something, it becomes real.
Which is where he talks about the Tulpa.
Okay, well, I don't remember.
It's
about Tulpa.
Hindu or
because you keep making it sound like this other being that is somehow here.
Well, it's like a mythological being created.
Mm-hmm.
It's Hindu, or they say who it is in the story, but in doing it, you create this ritual that summons the tulpa, and that it then manifests itself. That then once people start to believe enough, if there's a collective mind, they can manifest stuff into being.
Okay,
Created by the tulpa. The tulpa is kind of pushing it into being, assisting it into being.
They don't talk about that ever again, though.
It's literally
they're
it's
kind
literally
of
in
like,
that 5 minutes. But
they're pretty much just like, hey, if enough people believe something, it becomes real, and that's all I get from it. But because it was way before. I know, like, the U.S. discovered this secret, and like you said, at the end of World War II, but they do an issue later on. I want to say like 8 or 9, where it dates all the way back to the fall of Rome. And
I can definitely see
the Dark Ages is actually only about 20 years, and the Catholic Church is the one who got a hold of it and started shaping everything, because when Rome fell, they were the main base of Catholicism,
right,
and they couldn't handle not being the number one religion, and that's when they created the perception of the Dark Ages that was only actually about like a couple years, but it felt like 200,
right,
and then they kind of reshaped everything when the Catholic Church kind of was the head of it.
Interesting.
Yeah,
this is cool. It's just I don't know. I don't even know how to describe.
So I thought it was just like people figuring out how the universe actually worked.
Yeah.
You keep talking about this Tulpas thing, and I'm like, I have no idea what you're fucking talking about.
Maybe it's not as big.
Maybe I need to.
Maybe it's not as big a deal as I thought it was.
Maybe I need to go back and read, because you make it sound like it's this god that is on Earth. And I don't think.
But it's not
is.
a god. It's. I don't know how to describe it more than that. You'd have to go back and read the sentence. The guy who describes it, which is really cool, the guy that's leading the Department of Truth, is Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yes, that is
the assassinator of JFK.
Then the greatest line in this entire book is, Colt is like, is that really him? And Robin was like, the question isn't, is that actually Lee Harvey Oswald? The question is that the Lee Harvey Oswald that shot JFK? Right. Or is it the Lee Harvey Oswald that was set up?
That was the patsy.
And was the fall guy.
Yeah.
And
there was another one. There was 3. Or she may have just said the 2.
It was either him or he was the fall guy. Now, where the JFK conspiracy goes crazy is like, who is he the fall guy for? The CIA or whoever was on the grassy knoll or whatever, the shit like that.
But that's cool. It's just, like, even at that aspect of he's leading the Department of Truth. And then when he asked the question is, well, which manifestation? Was he the man? If they really did capture the actual shooter, this Lee Harvey Oswald was manifested because of all the theories. This guy was then just taken, not killed, and then they used him, told him the truth, and now he is the leader.
Exactly.
Which is kind of what I think that happened. But either way, it's weird. It's crazy so weird. Like, it's hard to describe.
You got to know your conspiracy theories too.
Yeah, most of them were pretty mainstream. I didn't hear one that I just was like, I've never heard of it. The lizards in the earth.
Oh, you've never heard of
I've heard of it,
Hollow Earth theory?
But I didn't realize it was that crazy.
If you're looking for some other podcast, there's one, oh my gosh, what is it? The comedian's name is Dan Cummins, but he does a podcast. I can't remember what it was called, but I used to be like really into it. And he basically pick one topic each week, and he would just do an absolute deep dive on everything. And some of my favorite episodes he's ever done were all about conspiracy theories. And early on, he did the Hollow Earth theory, and it also ties in with the lizard people who are secretly the Illuminati running the world. But they all live in the Hollow Earth, which you also see a little bit played around with in King Kong versus Godzilla.
Oh yeah, where
what
are they called? They're called
Kaiju.
Kaiju. Yeah, where kaiju come from the earth or come from another dimension. Yeah. Which that universe is so much bigger than I
Yeah.
ever thought it was.
But yeah, so that's what Hollow Earth is. You want to know my favorite like spin-off of another conspiracy theory?
But
There is a section of flat earthers that also believe Australia is fake.
yes, okay,
Yeah.
I've seen that. And then
Yeah.
there's the meme of the dude with his hands on the hip going, "Flat Earthers in Australia not believing Australia is real."
Yeah, they
It's
think
like,
they're in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And Australia is just a cover-up for a mass genocide because Australia was a
It was a
prisoner colony.
camp, yeah.
And they think it was a mass genocide, and that every time if you go to Australia, you're really on a plane and everybody's acting in New Zealand just to cover up.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's great.
people believe some
That's-
stupid ass shit.
But again, it's that idea of if you have a question
Yeah.
and you want to accept an answer,
Mm,
they've got the answers.
yeah.
Or they've got answers.
Mhm.
It just might not be the true answer. But they're
And anytime you present logic, they're like, "That's fake. Like, how can you prove that?" And it's just like,
and then they prove. Then
what
they,
do you mean? It's like, yeah, but that's on the science book that the government sold you, and they're trying to protect the actual truth.
It's weird, man.
Yeah.
This was cool, and again, like the artwork
Fits very well.
fits with this. It fits with the only people that you know are true people. Even the woman that Cole and Robin go to
Yeah.
meet, they never define her face.
No.
Like it's always it's
Because
this one
she's-
frame, then it changes, and then it's cut. or
She's
it's-
in the middle of either being a mass shooting denier or her son actually was in a mass shooting.
right, and so her face changes the whole time. And the only faces that never change are Cole's, Robin's, Lee's, the tinfoil hat guy,
Yeah.
the big fat dude,
Mhm.
and then the techie woman,
Yeah.
techie girl. Well, it hasn't changed yet.
Yeah.
But those are the only ones, like, you can tell, all right, those are the true. And the black hat guy's face never changed when he was talking to him.
Yeah. True.
It stayed true the whole time.
Mm.
So it kind of, if they're going to go with that aspect of when you see a true face and it doesn't, like the millionaires, like they had very fuzzy and dark.
Yeah.
Then when they showed them again, they had red teeth and
Yeah.
shit. Like if somebody's face never changes, then is that a real person?
Yeah.
Like, can you trust that they are
Mm.
not being led astray or crazy or fake or
That's
whatever?
crazy. I actually never caught on to that. Obviously, when the millionaires had like turned into demons and stuff like that.
But imagine every other person's face. Like
Mm.
they never were repeated.
Yeah. Another big question is the lady in the red dress with the X over her eyes.
Is she supposed to be the devil?
I don't know. They haven't actually
Or is-
fleshed her out yet. And then obviously Black Hat. And then the pentagram face guy.
Right. Which
They kind of.
so the way I get it, or the way I'm understanding it, is like we said, the Department of Truth is trying to keep the history book the same without creating spin-offs, kind of like multiple timelines
Yeah.
that would crash in on themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Where the Black Hat, he doesn't want chaos for chaos' sake. He just wants
Just
people
let it go.
to think of for themselves,
Yeah.
right? Which would then create chaos, time warping in on itself and changing.
Yeah.
It's just like it got so bad that even the woman that listened to her son die in a mass shooting
It's
has had
starting
so
to
many
convince
people,
herself it's fake.
that she's
Yeah.
been on the web so many times listening to the conspiracy theories that they have changed her understanding
Yeah.
of the past. Like,
Or is
did
that-
she go?
Or is that actually just reality manifesting itself?
Right.
Yeah.
Like has enough people believed it and that now she's believing it, that she's manifesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's weird, man. It just there's
Like
going to be
you
a
said.
lot of this that I would continue reading this
Yeah.
and it's going to be interesting to see if when do you I don't know how to put this right word. Like, when does it all become a lie? Where do you sit there?
I don't know. They're really taking their time. I don't want to spoil anything, but they're just started kind of a story arc, kind of playing around with Cole and the whole satanic panic thing, and this demon that was haunting Cole, and it's like, well, who created? They introduced this character who is like their field operative, who was sent out there to create.
Black Cat, right?
No, it's like the field operative for the Department of Truth, and he's sent out there to like handle things that are becoming stuff.
Cole, okay,
Yeah.
Cole and Robin, they go out and handle.
Kind of, but like
Yeah.
he's like this weird separate division where he doesn't really come into the office and stuff. When it's like when things get real messy, you call him, and they kind of tease that he might have been the one to create Cole's actual demon. And
You're talking about Lee.
no, this
Who
new
you-
character.
Who's
It's
the
a new character they introduced. I told you.
Who?
He's not. He doesn't have like. He's not some important
Was this
person.
after this volume?
Yes.
Oh,
I told you in the
oh,
future.
sorry.
That's what's going on right now.
Oh, I got you.
Because you said, when does it all become like when's
A lot, yeah.
when's the pin drop or whatever? I was like,
Yeah.
I told you they're taking their time.
Oh,
and
okay.
This is what they're doing right now. But they're kind of teasing that the Department of Truth will set some shit up to hide other shit, and one of those things was
the demon.
Cole's demon.
Man, dude, this is.
Yeah.
It's definitely something that I don't know if I could read this week, month to month.
Oh, actually,
Or it hasn't.
Now,
Okay,
there is
because I could see,
sometimes-
like, all right, it build, and then I wait a month, and then I miss, like, I forget
Yeah.
an aspect that needed to be built on.
I mean, there's a couple times where I've had to go back, but it's still pretty good. Like I said, I feel like it's the best monthly thing going right now, and you should definitely check it out.
Yeah, this is pretty cool. It's fun. It's creepy.
Yeah, definitely creepy. But I think we've rambled on about it long enough. You should definitely check it out. It's being put out by Image Comics. Next week we have
Saga
Volume 2, one I personally begged for.
Yes.
But we'll save that for next week, and we'll see y'all next Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye.